finish up their opening 7-game road trip with a final matchup in Milwaukee. The Braves opened up their 2011 season on baseball's opening day in Washington with a win against the Nationals. Ended up taking 2 out of 3 in that series. And in the Brewers home opener, they again played spoiler as 2 late-inning home runs propelled Atlanta to a 2-1 win. But the Brewers rallied to win games 2 and 3 of the series, and now it's getaway day as the Braves need a win to finish this trip above 500. Day baseball, Braves and Brewers. Pull up a chair and watch it with us next on Sports South. From Milwaukee, Wisconsin, it's time for Braves baseball. And today at Miller Park, the Braves try to even up this 4-game series at 2 apiece as they try to knock off the suddenly red-hot Milwaukee Brewers. Hi again, friends. Chip and Joe back with you for Braves baseball. Glad you're with us today. And speaking of glad, partner, everybody's going to be glad to get on the charter and head back to Atlanta, and everybody be smiling with a 4-3 trip.
They would indeed, and it's been a good road trip for the most part, Chip. They've gotten very good starting pitching, 4 out of the 6 games so far, and the outstanding work out of the bullpen, and only 1 error made on this whole road trip, so great defense. But 2 close 1-run decisions have kind of soured the taste of this ball club a little bit here in Milwaukee, but a win today might help ease some of that.
And 2 starters pitching for their respective clubs hope for better fortunes in Game 2.
Neither guy pitched well opening day for their respective seasons. Sean Markham pitched in Cincinnati, a career high with 5 walks. He says that's not going to happen again. He's had some shoulder stiffness, so we'll keep an eye on that too. As for the Braves, Tommy Hanson goes for Atlanta, and he was not sharp in his first start against Washington. He was behind in the count all afternoon, and when he did have to make some good pitches, Washington teed off. The 1 error so far this season made by Tommy Hanson on that pickoff attempt. Rick Ankiel took him deep. It was a short day for Tommy. He wants to rectify that today, too.
Let's hope he and the Brewers have long days today. That would mean the Braves would be in good shape as we get set to head back to Atlanta tonight. Different looking lineup for Freddie Gonzalez. Chipper Jones gets the day off. That means Martin Prado, the Braves super starter, will man the hot corner. We'll talk about his remarkable transitions for this ball club when we return. this series against the Milwaukee Brewers. And partner, another day, another different position for Superman Martin Prado today.
His first start this season at third base. You see where he worked all last season. And keep in mind that today he's a little bit of a disadvantage because neither team took batting practice. He wasn't able to take ground balls at third base prior to today's start.
Chipper Jones gets the day off. Prado plays at third base as the Braves try to earn a series split and a winning road trip. Lineups, first pitch from Miller Park, coming right up. This afternoon, but the roof is on at Miller Park, and the game is on as well. Braves and Brew Crew battle in the fourth and final game of the series. And all year long, Braves baseball on Sports South is presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors, the right stuff and the low price. With a win today, the Braves would head back home with a 4-3 road trip. Martin Prado gets the start at third base. Nate McLouth back in there in center field. Matt Young gets his second consecutive start today. He'll at eighth and play left field.
And Sean Markham's on the mound for the Brewers, 29 years old, 6 feet, 195 pounds. Lives in Excelsior Springs, Missouri. He's in his sixth year. They got him from Toronto for a young infielder in December. Went 13-8 last year with the Blue Jays, which was a career high, also career high in starts. He did have some trouble in his first start. Got beat by Cincinnati 4-2 in 4 2/3 innings, 4 hits, 4 runs, and we told you about the 5 walks. He did strike out 7. His 4 keys to pitching success: location. He's not overpowering. He's got to hit spots. And as a contrast to what happened to him in his first start, he says, I got to pitch to contact, make the guys put the ball in play. He said, I was trying to be too fine in Cincinnati, and I hope that won't happen today.
And Phil Cuzzi has the ball in strike duties this afternoon. Markham's first pitch over the inside corner for strike one to Martin Prado.
His fastball is somewhere in the high 80s to low 90s range. He also throws a cutter. His slider is his out pitch, but also has a changeup. Martin may have off his foot.
3 for 11 in the series. A game tying homer the other night. Is the first out. Strikeout for Markham. Here's how the Brewers line up, with Morgan, Gomez, and Braun right to left in the outfield. Same infield lineup as we saw in Game 3 of the series, and George Kataris and Sean Markham the battery.
Markham had Tommy John surgery in 2009. So last year when he bounced back with those career highs in so many different categories was a great sign for him.
And to go 13-8 with an ERA under 4 in the American League East is really saying something. That's what Markham did with Toronto. As McLeod hooks one past Prince Fielder into the right field corner. So Nate's bat starting to liven up. That's good to see. And he's aboard in front of Brian McCann.
Nate's third hit of the series, had one in each of the first 2 games, including one of the only 2 hits the Braves had against Gallardo in Game 2. And a left-hander getting a hit is somewhat of an oddity against Markham, because he actually does better against lefties than right-handers because of that changeup. Lefties last year only hit 190 against him.
Will Freddie turn McLeod loose here in the first inning? Good start at the plate for Brian McCann this year.
Of off-speed pitches to start him, hoping that they can get him to maybe commit a little early and roll over the top of a pitch and hit into the teeth of that shift so they can turn a double play.
Betancourt, the shortstop, the man closest to the second base bag. Now an even count to Bryant.
To say that Brian didn't like that call would be an understatement. Did have a little late movement on it coming back, but looked inside.
Broken bat pop up shallow right. Morgan long run, and he makes the catch near the line. What a play.
Similar swing to what Nate McLeod fashioned for the base hit. Kind of a one-handed off-speed pitch swing. And Nigel Morgan's speed made the difference there. Nice play.
That guy's been some kind of pickup, hasn't he, from Milwaukee?
He's always a pain in the neck to the Atlanta Braves. He's 4 for 7 at the plate against the Braves this series.
So Nate's at first with 2 outs now, and Dan Ugla hitting in the cleanup spot today.
Mentioned that left-handers didn't hit much against Markham at 190, but right-handers hit 298 against him with 16 of the home runs he allowed last year. Not able to use the changeup to them, mostly fastballs and sliders. And of course, he fashions a changeup.
Yes. Another infield shift on for the Brewers. Everybody's on the left side of the diamond now for the right-hand hitting Dan Uggla.
Brewers were a little concerned about Markham in his first start, game 2 of the season, because he was real fidgety. He kept rotating his arm around, and he said he did have some tightness in his shoulder, but it wasn't anything to worry about. And threw on his side session this week and said there was the normal stiffness, but again, nothing to get concerned about. He said, I'm just a naturally fidgety guy.
And some control troubles for him in his first couple of starts in the National League. That's his 6th walk in 5 innings and a third.
Well, to say that he was mildly upset with himself would also be an understatement about the walks. He said, if I ever have 5 walks again, I'll kick my own bleep. That won't happen again.
He had 8 starts last year without any walks while pitching for Toronto. Now he has to face Jason Hayward, who parked a 3-run homer here last night.
Here's the home run he hit last night off Estrada. A mistake that was right down the middle. No doubt about it. Brought the Braves within a run, but that's as close as they could get.
Last night's final 5-4 in favor of the Brewers. Braves already have 3 one-run decisions among their first 6 games played.
Pretty obvious that he wants the left-handers to try and pull the ball. He's expecting them to try and pull it. He runs the fastball, a 2-seamer away from him, and then that change-up. And we've seen some one-handed swings already from McLeod and from McCann. A little nubber off the end of the bat foul by Jason.
They couldn't check his swing and is down on strikes. Braves threaten, fail to score in the first. Tommy Hanson to the mound. Up for the bottom of the first inning in Miller Park. The Wonkies won the last 2 ball games. Prince Fielder picked up his first 2 RBIs last night. He's their cleanup man and a man that Tommy Henson will try to protect against.
Here are the numbers from Tommy's first start. That was against the Nationals. Threw 68 pitches in 3 2/3 innings. And today he's got to do a little better job of getting ahead in the count. And that is one of his 4 keys today, is getting ahead and trusting his stuff, having the confidence to know that you can throw strike one without worrying about it getting hit hard.
Weeks has had a good series, 3 for 11 with a homer.
Tommy battled some issues with his back in spring training, but said it's a non-issue now. That was not part of the problem in Washington. 6'6", 220.
Off the end of the bat, Young, a late charge. And Weeks is retired for out number 1. Here's how the Braves line up in the outfield. Young, McLeod, and Hayward from left to right. First start of the year at third base for Martin Prado. Chipper gets the afternoon off. And Tommy Hanson and Brian McCann will pitch and catch.
Tommy made 2 starts against the Brewers last year, and he pitched well. His ERA was 2.08, but he was just 1-1 on those games. 13 strikeouts in 13 innings against only 2 walks.
Carlos Gomez, the hitter. Just 2 for his last 19 after homering against Cincinnati to start the year. He pushes a bunt up the first base line, and he slides in safely.
The bunt was okay, but the dive was even better. Most of the time, if you push it to first, you want to push it toward the second baseman to make everybody scramble. But this was close enough to the line that he actually ran past Freddie Freeman and still was able to dive and hit the base. Well done.
That'll bring up Ryan Braun.
Talked about this in his opening game, and that was that Hanson, one of the things he worked on in spring training was making himself a little quicker to the plate. Gave up a lot of stolen bases last year because of his high leg kick and deliberate delivery. Gomez led their team last year in stolen bases with 18. 33 out of 37. He's got to improve. He's got to give Brian McCann and David Ross a chance. Good lead.
close.
Yeah, he was leaning. Like he was going there. Plate umpire Phil Cousy on top of that, even though it wasn't a pitch, it was a throw to first that went in the dirt. He wanted to change the baseball.
He's going. And Braun drives one down the left field line and deep.
Like a fastball, he tried to run in on him, but didn't get it in far enough. It's a breaking ball. It's supposed to be outside, and he hangs it inside. And Braun kept it fair just enough.
So the first homer that isn't a solo shot for Milwaukee is off the bat of Ryan Braun. It's 2-0 Brewers in the first for Fielder. Won't know until after the game, but we'll ask Tommy, did having Gomez at first and all those throws force him to lose a little attention on Braun?
Well, it was a hanging slider, and when you know that in the back of Tommy's mind is that I got to hold this guy close, I know he can run, I've got to improve on my slide step, I've got to get it to the plate a little quicker. When those things are in your head, the pitch selection or location sometimes takes a back seat. It's a pretty good pitch there, it looked like. Like a similar pitch called a strike on McCann in the top of the inning.
Fielder got a good cut and now is in a full count. First walk for Tommy Hanson. Casey McGee, the hitter. Braves have held this guy in check so far in the series. McGee just 1 for 11 with 4 strikeouts.
Well, he doesn't have to pay as much attention to Prince Fielder. He can concentrate more on McGee and leave Fielder up to Brian McCann if he does run. So that he can make a better pitch.
Tommy threw strike 1 to the first 2 hitters in the game. He's missed on the first pitch to the last 3 Milwaukee hitters.
does not run well. Get him to hit it on the ground, you got a chance at 2.
Braves did that a bunch last night. They turned 3 double plays in the game. One of them, that spectacular Ugla to Gonzalez to Freeman, 8th inning. Twin killing. There's the grounder. Ugla the turn. And the Braves double up McGee and the Brewers in the first. But not before Ryan Braun. He had a breaking ball over the boards in left. That scored Carlos Gomez, and after 1, Brewers score first and lead by 2. Academy Sports and Outdoors. Braves on Sports South are brought to you in part by Academy Sports and Outdoors, by AT&T Uverse, by Delta Airlines, and by Ford. Lots of kids at the ballpark today. Always good to see that. Had a big school group here about 3 hours before the game as well. Another good crowd on a cold afternoon at Miller Park in Milwaukee.
Foghorns were working this morning, that's for sure.
Alex Gonzalez pops it behind the plate. No play for Kataris. Driven toward left. Braun got a good jump on that ball. 1 out.
Like another straight changeup to a right-handed hitter, too, something he doesn't normally do. That's 2 already in 2 innings. Second glimpse, that might have been just a short slider, too. Had a little bit of turnover in it. Got to get this guy going.
Yep. He's 2 for 19 to start the year. 0 for his last 13.
Left-handers, though, today, Chip, are going to have to think a little bit more about left center field with Markham than they might normally with a right-handed pitcher, because of how he's running the ball away from him and using that changeup to sink down and away.
I would say so far, whatever Markham needed to do adjustment-wise to his location, he's made a sound one, even though he did walk one in the first inning. He's around the plate today.
Fielder can't get it. Freddie has a one-out single.
That's good. Get him off that 0 for 13.
Friends, the Delta Civil Rights Game is coming to Atlanta for the first time. Join us May 13th, 14th, and 15th when the Phillies come to town. We'll celebrate diversity and the birthplace of the Civil Rights Movement. Events will take place all weekend. Post-game concert May 14th with Ludacris, and the Delta Civil Rights Game on May 15th. For more info, visit Braves.com/civil rights. Well, first big league start for Matt last night. Be a good time for his first big league hit.
You can almost think about Sean Markham as a Tom Glavine type pitcher in reverse. He's right-handed instead of left. So he's right-handed, and you think, well, we'll load up the lineup of left-handed hitters. Well, you're playing right into his style of pitching.
Now he runs the count to 3 balls, no strikes.
See how Matt Young adjusts. If he's going to try to pull Markham too, should get a good pitch to hit here. Good pitcher's pitch. Started at the middle of the plate, tailed it off.
Freeman's running. Ball 4. 2 on for Tommy. What did Markham say about the 5 walks?
He's only 3 away now. I want to be there to watch him do that demonstration about kicking his own behind. Tommy Hansen had a sacrifice bunt in Washington. That was a good thing. Maybe he can put another one down here. He now has exactly 100 at bats in the big leagues with only 8 hits. That's 0-80.
He tried to pull the bat back and still fouled it away.
The bat was already moving backwards. He didn't leave it out there. Wants to try and make McGee field this ball.
And the pitcher will field and has only 1 play.
Sure that Markham had a play, probably did the right thing getting the sure out. Certainly gives Martin a chance to tie this game up with a base hit, though.
He's made some of his best pitches to Martin Prado. Quickly gets ahead of Martino in 2, and after striking him out in the first inning, it'd be the way Martin's been swinging the bat, hard to believe that he could strike him out twice in 2 innings. Little roller right side. Weeks can't stop it. 1 run scores. Young flies around third. The throw not in time.
A little 0-2 slap to the right side, just trying to protect the plate. Well, we say it all the time, you know, just put the ball in play and you might find a hole. That ball was off the plate. Kataris actually went out on his knee to try to catch this ball. And just out of the range of Ricky Weeks. Niger Morgan does not have a strong throwing arm. And with 2 outs, certainly Matt Young was off with the crack of the bat. And a good turn there at third base. Great execution by the Braves offense after getting the bunt down and moving the runners up.
That ties the game 2-2 for Nate McLouth.
Second time through the order is going to help these Braves hitters a lot. The only guy in the lineup that had even faced Markham before was Alex Gonzalez, 0 for 1, who was a former teammate of Markham's in Toronto. Eric Hinsky has faced him a few times, but not in the lineup today.
This will be the 46th pitch of the game already. Markham.
He was a shortstop in college. He went to the University of Missouri for 1 year and pitched there, but went to Southwest Missouri State after that and played shortstop and then pitched out of the bullpen. Blue Jays made him the 3rd round pick in 2003, and they signed him and wanted him as a pitcher all the way.
Two and two. Hard hit ball, and fielder in perfect position to make the play. Braves executed very nicely in the second inning. A 1-out walk, a bunt, and then Prado's bouncing ball to the right side ties the game after an inning and a half. 2 here in the second. Cannot wait to get home tomorrow night for the Braves and Phillies, the 2011 home opener. It'll be the first of our 45 games that'll be seen on Peachtree TV in Metro Atlanta. New this year, every Braves game that airs on Peachtree will also be available for you Braves fans outside of the Metro Atlanta area on Fox Sports South and Sports South. So quite simply, that means you'll be able to see all 150 Braves games no matter where you are. All you have to do is check your local listings for the channel number in your area.
Exactly. It's really quite simple. Turn on your TV, find the Braves, watch a game.
Maybe we can shorten the promo to say just that.
That's just all you need. Coming your way tomorrow.
Yes. We got some tips for you for the home opener tomorrow as well, as Betancourt looks low. Parking lots are going to open at 3:30, but it's prepaid parking only for opening night at Turner Field. Gates will open at 4:30. Braves are strongly encouraging fans to use MARTA to get to and from Turner Field. The shuttle will be operating until 1 hour after the final out is made from the 5 Points station. Standing room tickets will go on sale tomorrow morning at 8:30 at the Turner Field box offices. They're $15 each. Betancourt hits it to right. McLouth and Hayward converge.
Big Bad Phillies come to town, and here are the pitching matchups. Cliff Lee against Tim Hudson tomorrow night. Man, is that an outstanding matchup. Then you got Oswalt and Beachy. Brandon pitched great here, his first start. That's a Saturday afternoon start against, that was on Big Fox, as we say, national broadcast. And then Cole Hamels against Derek Lowe Sunday. Hamels has not pitched well in spring training or in his first start.
He got lit up his first appearance. Six runs in 2 2/3 innings for the Phillies left-hander. As Morgan hits a shot to right, long run Hayward. That's going to bounce off the fence, and Niger Morgan continues to punish Braves pitching. He has 6 hits this year. 5 of them have come against the Braves.
I'll be honest with you, when we came into this series, we started going over scouting reports and rosters. This wasn't a concern. It is now. And look how calm he is at the plate. He's very still, short stride, just letting his hands do the work, and almost hit that ball over the fence. He's had a great series.
Here's George Kotaras. Those who don't know him well just call him George K. As Hansen jumps ahead of him with a strike. He and Nieves are basically sharing the catching duties for the Brewers until Jonathan LaCroix comes back from a broken finger.
Tommy there. That had Kotaras stride, stop, and then decide to swing. His best fastball of the day, too. That was 92 from Hansen. Usually what we got accustomed to seeing, especially the first year he was called up, was usually a minimum 92, sometimes 93, 94. Haven't seen any 94s lately.
Pickoff play.
I'm sure he couldn't do it. I don't really know what the rule would be if, like, that ball just kind of trickled out of his glove, if Nigel Morgan just kicked it into center field and took off running.
I'm sure it's been thought of by a base runner or two. Taurus stays alive. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Tommy's in a good spot here. I mean, with 1 out, you got Kataris and Markham due up. Kataris, like Nieves, not an offensive threat. Pretty good defensive player, but not a great offensive player. Just makes some good pitches. Retire him even if he advances Morgan to third base. You got the pitcher up with 2 out.
Morgan's trying for third. And a breaking ball inside. Now a fly ball could put Milwaukee back in front. The first 2-2 count.
Yeah, that changes the dynamic with 1 out, because the infield's going to have to come in. Going to force Kataris to drive him in with a base hit or a deep fly.
Right at Ugla. Morgan's coming home. And the ball knocked away from McCann. Morgan scores. Kataris around first on his way to second. And Milwaukee leads 3-2.
I don't know when I've seen a 4-game, even a 3-game series for that matter, where there's been so many plays at the plate. And on each occasion, Brewer runners are trying to steamroll Brian McCann every time, including this one. Brian just never quite had that in his glove cleanly. Morgan goes back to touch the plate because, look, he went right into Brian, went over the top of home plate and had to go back and touch it. Last night we saw Carlos Gomez throw an elbow at Brian as he was coming in, not trying to hit the plate. Prince Fielder wasn't trying to go away. He had wide open space at home plate. Didn't even think about going away to the outside part of the plate. Went right into Brian.
Here's Markham, runner at second, and he puts a charge into a ball foul. Does Morgan's play a clean play in your estimation?
I have to look at it again to see where Brian is set up. If Brian's blocking the plate, then yes, because he knows there's going to be a play. The infield's in. But there's no doubt that they are launching themselves headfirst at Brian to try to bowl him over. No one has gone in feet first I can think of. Well, I think Braun did on that play where Prado threw him out from left field. One more look at it. Let's see where Brian is set up. And if he gave Morgan any room to slide away, he's pretty much camped in front. So Morgan's got to do his best to try to dislodge it if he thinks there's going to be a play there. But he saw Ugla coming to the plate. And he knew he was going to be out. So no, I don't have any problem with it. It's just interesting that every one of the plays, though, close or not, they've gone after Mac.
So Milwaukee back in front. 1-2 count to the pitcher. And Tommy has his first strikeout. So the Morgan stolen base looming large in this inning. Kataris at second, 2 away for Ricky Weeks, who flied softly to left. to center. And the side retired. Niger Morgan has been a pest all series long. A double, a steal, and a go-ahead run for Milwaukee in the second. What's happened, Joe? Our Joel and Associates game summary.
Yeah, nice clutch hitting by Martin Prado that's there in your picture to tie it up. But that next inning, you like to throw a zero up there, hold the other team so you can get your offense back in there. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. And a 2-run shot in the first from Ryan Braun got the Brewers going right down the line.
Brian McCann leads off the Braves third. And that'll spoil the shift.
That's just taking what Markham's given him, and hopefully the other left-handers will take note. Ball running away from him. Brian was looking middle of the plate away and went right through it. Great job.
Dan Uggla walked his first time. Folks in Atlanta who haven't seen Dan Uggla play much are really going to enjoy the way this guy plays. Funny spin. Markham to second. That's all Milwaukee can get.
Played that one like an infielder.
Opening week starts tomorrow night with the Phillies in town. Don't miss the Avett Brothers free post-game concert. That's presented by Coca-Cola and Delta Airlines after the Braves and Phillies play on Sunday, April 10th. For tickets, visit Braves.com/Avett Brothers. Also, it's come to my attention that the Turner Field ticket windows are open today as well if you're interested in standing room only tickets for the game tomorrow night. Can't get by today. They will be open tomorrow as well at 8:30 in the morning. And we are expecting a gigantic crowd. Fireworks after the game. Tim Hudson, Cliff Lee, first pitch 7:35. All the opening night ceremonies as well. Line to second. And Ugla doubled off. So it's the Braves' turn to get doubled up. That shot ends the top of the third inning. Milwaukee still leads by a run. Gomez, Braun, and Fielder up for the Brewers in the third. That single for Carlos was a bunt.
Quick reactions. Brian reacting, thinking maybe Gomez was out of the box when the ball hit him, so he would be out. But Phil Cousy immediately said no, he was in the box, just a foul ball. Good bunt down the first baseline, though, in the first inning that came right before Braun's home run. Freddie Freeman fielded it, but Gomez runs really well and able to elude the tag and still hit the bag with his hand as he went by.
I like the fact the speed game's coming back into play in baseball.
A lot more players that you see like Gomez that are big, strong guys that can run too. It's not just the scat backs like Nigel Morgan or Nate McLeod.
Second strikeout for Tommy Hanson. And here's an energy-saving tip from Georgia Power. Caulk and weather strip around windows and doors. For more energy-saving tips, visit GeorgiaPower.com.
I plan to do that around the window on by my seat on the Delta Charter going home tonight. Caulk and seal.
Okay. Ron. First chance for Prado at third base. Takes over the baseball. It's amazing how easy he's made all these defensive changes look.
And without getting a sore arm in the process, because a lot of times you throw from those different positions, especially having to have a little bit longer arm action from the outfield, and it can make your arm sore, your shoulder especially. When we come back next inning, stay with us because we'll show you what we're talking about. the various ways that Martin is forced to throw from the infield or the outfield.
In those games Martin played at third base, just 5 errors at the hot corner, 11 in total. 2-1 count to Fielder with the bases clear. Milwaukee 3, Braves 2.
Much better breaking balls this inning. Struck out Gomez, locked him up with a good one.
Stroked into right center. Jason on the run, can't get it. Hayward airmails everybody, but no further advance for Fielder, who doubles with 2 out. His bat is waking up.
That was a beautiful swing right there. Down and in. That's where he likes the ball. It was a breaking ball. And he really stayed back and went down after it. He jumped off his bat.
Where will Fielder play Major League Baseball next year? It's a very big question. He's a free agent.
There was kind of that discussion a couple of years ago with respect to Fielder and Ryan Braun, who came up together, more or less. And it was like, well, who will they sign? Who are they going to keep? They can't afford both, and what they might command. And I think the Brewers answered that when they gave Braun a multi-year deal for good money.
That was 2-3 years ago for Braun. I guess the other question is, will the fact that Albert Pujols is a free agent too help or hurt the cause of Prince Fielder in free agency?
I can't imagine that it would help.
Some might say, well, Pujols is going to set the market.
Yeah, and maybe there will be some teams that go to Prince and his agent if he does not re-sign with the Brewers and say, hey, we can't afford Pujols, but we'd like to think we can afford you. Now that might open up the market for him a little bit.
Another chance at third for Prado. And he makes short work of Casey McGee. 3-2 our scores. We go to the fourth.
To play, we're going to show you what we're talking about with Martin and playing the infield. Sometimes you're forced to make some funny throws on the run at bad angles, a little sidearm delivery or whatever you have to do to get it to the base. But from the outfield, there's only one way to do it, and that is right over the top, staying on top of the baseball to get a good backspin on the ball, hoping for a little carry and some accuracy on your throw so that it doesn't sink or spin, or I should say sink or cut. And that's hard on you. I mean, you got to do the technique just right from the outfield to be able to come right over the top, and he does it well. He's really doing a great job with that.
He's thrown out one man officially this season from left. Would have had a second were it not for the obstruction or interference call on Chipper Jones against Jason Worth up in Washington. And so the question is, how long until the book gets out that Martin has a very strong and accurate arm in left now?
Not long.
Ron in left. Retires Alex.
I mean, scouting reports being what they are and use of video technology, people will see that on replays and what have you. It'll get around.
Freddie snapped an 0 for 13 slide with a single to right, and he scored on Prado's 2-out second inning hit.
We heard some good news from Gwinnett that Jair Jurgens worked a 4-inning simulated game yesterday and worked it pain-free, so we're glad to hear that. We look forward to seeing him tomorrow night.
And everything on track for JJ to start on the 16th against the Mets. That's an experienced parent right there. Kataris. 2 out.
Another nubber off the end of the bat. Freddie got ahead 2-0, but Markham came back with some good pitches to keep him off balance. I couldn't tell if that child was, his mouth was open thinking that the next one was for him or not. A little of that beer juice, Dad. Huh?
He's checking it out, isn't he? Now you get the lid, kid.
He knows where it goes.
Matt Young walked and scored. Already 2 runs in his young big league career. But 3 pitches subdues him in the 4th. First 1-2-3 inning for Markham, who leads by a run. leads by a 3-2 score all year long. Braves baseball on Sports South is presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. The right stuff, the low price. This feels like the longest opening week in baseball history for the Braves, doesn't it?
Just a stopover and wave in Atlanta for those 2 games against the Twins.
First pitch, Betancourt pops it up into shallow center.
That was such a short stop, it felt like just a flyover. Everybody throwing their laundry out.
Yeah, time to go home, unpack, pack again, and hit the road for 8 days. But a nice long homestand starts tomorrow night. Phillies, Marlins, and Mets. Morgan's run, the difference in the game. That came in the 2nd inning. He doubled to lead off, stole third. And then Kataris with the infield in, tapped to Dan Uggla, whose throw reached the plate just as the base runner did. And Morgan knocked the ball away, scored safely for a 3-2 lead. Bunt popped up, and Bryan will track it down. That's twice in this series Bryan's been able to catch an easy foul bunt attempt.
You mean Cat McCann?
Yes.
Big Cat McCann.
Well, there was only one big cat.
Well, that's true.
But 2 quick outs. Part of the big week plus in Atlanta is the annual Braves leadoff luncheon. That's Thursday, April 14th at the Marriott Marquis. Current and former Braves will be there, as will Joe and I. Get a chance to talk with our great fans, give you an insider's look at the upcoming season and the current season. Good seats are still available. Please join us by visiting Braves.com/luncheon. Kataris with a single to right on a 2-0 pitch. And that allows Milwaukee to clear the pitcher in the 4th inning.
Yeah, fell behind 2-0. Had to make a good pitch, and a guy that you don't expect to swing the bat too well makes him a better hitter. Tommy lamented about game 1 about not being able to get ahead in the count. Couldn't throw strike 1. And what it amounts to, just like we just saw, you pitch 2-0 or 3-1 to anybody in the big leagues, their average goes up. Makes them that much better.
Tommy 12 out of 18 with first pitch strikes in his 2nd start. Jumps ahead of Markham 0-2.
I'm not sure what was wrong with that. I know they were asking for the check swing, but it looked like a pretty good pitch too. Low.
A mile-high pop-up, deep short. And Alex puts that away. Brewers get a hit and strand George Kataris. On we go to the 5th. It's cool outside in Milwaukee. Martin Prado and Nate McLeod coming up here at Miller Park, and it's trivia question time, brought to you by our friends at AT&T Universe. Chipper Jones 2 hits away from 2,500 lifetime. Who's the only active switch hitter with more than 2,500 hits?
They come all over that one.
You've been like Nostradamus.
I'll give you a chance to think of it, but I think I got it.
Trivia questions. Tommy a sacrifice today as he digs in against Markham.
You want a hint?
Of course.
He's been playing a long time.
Didn't take you long to set the hook, did it?
How about this one?
Okay.
It's a former Mariner.
Former Mariner. Okay.
Run, Tommy.
Tapped up the
Hit the base.
Bad throw. Oh. But the tag on the back shoulder.
A lot of things could have gone wrong here in terms of getting Tommy on base, but Brewers able to handle all of it. Fielder must have tagged him because he actually kind of tapped Tommy as he went by. Tommy tapped him back like no problem.
First pitch to Prado's popped to right. And 2 outs. Good play by Prince Fielder. And he's part of our Geico quote of the day today.
Yeah, indirectly.
Yeah. Ryan Braun, the quote, and it's a good one.
To ask about Chipper Jones and whether or not he's a legitimate Hall of Fame candidate, he said, is Prince Fielder a legitimate threat to your stash of potato chips? And the answer to that is yes.
Breaking ball to McLeod, who's on a 5-game hitting streak. He singled back in the first inning. 10 third basemen in the Hall of Fame. Believe it or not.
What did you tell me before the game, that third base is the least represented position in the Hall of Fame?
That's correct.
Well, there's 5 good ones.
In the air, center field. Gomez on the run, now slowing. And Markham starting to settle in. A 1-2-3 Braves fifth and a 3-2 lead. Enjoy a 3-2 lead. Here's our game summary. Ryan Braun, Niger Morgan have had big days for Milwaukee. Martin Prado briefly tied the game for the Braves with a 2-run single in the second.
So we need a few more Braves hats on that summary. Make this right on the way home. First inning. After a bunt single by Gomez, Ryan Braun followed right away with his home run right down the line. Already his 3rd home run of the season.
Tommy Hanson to work in the 5th with the top of the Brewers order. Ricky Weeks will start. He's fly to left. He's fly to center. While the Braves head home for the Phillies tomorrow night, Milwaukee gets the Cubs here at Miller Park tomorrow.
So far, Tommy Hanson has gone to the mound for 8 innings this year and has not yet had a 1-2-3 inning. Maybe you can start right here. 68 pitches for him so far. That's the number he threw in Washington.
Line to left, diving try, and a catch by Young. That's 2 outstanding plays in the outfield in this series for Matt.
In a ballpark that is difficult to pick the ball up in left field for day games with that bright panel up above the stands. But a good jump by Matt to get on that one. Terrific play.
Despite an error today, the Braves overall in the first week have to be thrilled with the way they've played defensive baseball. total. One of those was by Tommy Hanson, and that's the subject of our Academy Sports and Outdoor Leaderboard.
Now, I think you can live with an occasional pickoff mistake and a collision at home plate that allowed a runner to move up when the catcher couldn't hang onto the baseball. But no boots, no bad infield throws. All good.
Jason Hayward a chance, and he makes the running catch.
You were talking about the double plays last night, Chip, and the one that was truly outstanding was the one where Alex Gonzalez had to come across the bag and throw while in the air. He got rid of that baseball before he came down and made an accurate throw. That was as pretty as it gets right there.
Tommy's breaking ball has been sharp the last couple of innings, and he used it to get ahead of Braun.
Couple of 92 fastballs this inning too. That's a good sign to see him cutting it loose a little better. I know he's a big threat, but the way fielders swinging the bat right now, he's heating up. You don't want to walk Braun and then risk damage from the fielder. Make a good pitch here. And he did. Good changeup. Man, he got a good pitch. Good arm action. Good deception.
Middle. Braun has a couple of hits. And still no 1-2-3s for Tommy Hanson this year, and he will have to face Fielder.
Went right after him, though, with a fastball. Like seeing that.
A walk and a double for Fielder today. Braun, one of the elite hitters, elite young hitters in baseball, is our Georgia Lottery hitting the jackpot.
4 homers out of those 6 hits. It's funny how your mind plays tricks on you. Just out of the corner of my eye saw Dan Ugla out there in shallow right field for fielder, and I thought for a second I saw the gray uniform. I thought it was Jason. I thought, oh no, what do you back up?
From the rover position, Ugla throws out Prince Fielder. Secretary of Defense Carlos Tasca had Ugla positioned perfectly, and on we go to the 6th inning. Inning, heart of the order coming up for the Braves in a 3-2 game. Back home tomorrow night, as you know, for the 2011 season opener at Turner Field. It'll be the first of our 45 games that'll be seen on Peachtree TV in Metro Atlanta. If you're outside the Atlanta area, you'll be able to see the game on Fox Sports South. So check your local listings and tune us in as Braves and Phillies get together at the start of a very long homestand for the Atlanta Braves. Markham's retired 8 straight hitters. Brian McCann, the last to reach safely with a hit. That came in the 3rd inning.
See, Markham will do that once or twice an inning. Fire his best 86 fastball up there, 4-seamer, ride it up out of the zone just to show it to you, and then come right back with something a little off where he just turns it over a little bit. Even 2-0 there, he didn't give Brian something right down the middle.
Again, he tries to spoil the shift, with the ball tailing back toward Braun. That thing knuckled on him a bit. But Ryan hung with it, and McCann flies out.
Just a great approach by Brian McCann. Can't always guide it where you want it, but he's been the last 2 at-bats really making sure he stayed on the ball, and he's hit the ball hard twice the other way. Again, watch how he stays on this pitch and drives down and through it. He wasn't even thinking about the right side of the diamond.
And standing room tickets available for the series opener at home tomorrow. Turner Field box offices are open today. They'll open tomorrow morning at 8:30. You can still purchase seats for the game if you purchase a Braves ticket plan. And there are a lot of great plans available, some as low as $50. And that one right back where it came from. Hello, Mr. Markham. And a tying run aboard in the form of Dan Ugla.
That didn't knock the wind out of him. It just sucked the wind right out of him as it went by. Good thing he was falling away and could duck.
It's a vapor trail.
It was.
Here's Jason. He is struck out and lined into a double play.
Stopped a string of 9 in a row he'd set down. Their bullpen is getting busy.
Taking nothing away from Markham's talent, but would it be fair to describe this guy, if you struggle against him, that it's a comfortable 0 for 3 or 0 for 4?
It's frustrating. You know, it's just so frustrating because he's not doing anything to break your bat or jam you. You're kind of doing it to yourself in terms of giving up on some pitches or rolling over the top of them, hitting them off the end of the bat. McCann has had the right approach in terms of left-handers today, and that is just think about left center. Another backwards count pitch, 2-0, off speed. And right over the top. In Jason's weight, if you watch that swing after he planted that foot, everything was kind of pivoting to the right. Everything was working off his heel a little bit, his front heel where he was opening up, and that works right into Markham's design, what he wants you to do.
Rough day continues for Hayward. 2 outs. 2 strikeouts and a double play.
And look, see, there's another swing, and he kind of rotated over that foot. You saw his front foot kind of roll. That's because of the weight and the direction his weight was taking him with his swing. So there's no way he's going to be able to reach that sinker. And the hard part to make yourself think about is get jammed. Think about middle of the plate of the way. If he throws something inside, I don't think he can jam me anyway. You got to just have confidence in that, especially when you're behind in the count, that you got to give up something, give up the middle half, inside, middle in half of the plate.
Ball, 2 strikes. He hasn't thrown a pitch over 84 miles an hour this inning, I don't think.
Well, he hasn't thrown, I think his best fastball is about 86 today. He's rated anywhere from 86 to 92, but there's nothing even approaching 90 miles an hour today, and maybe that's a result of his shoulder stiffness he's had, but he's had good late movement.
Shot to right. Morgan coming on, and he makes a diving catch. I've seen enough of Nyjer Morgan for one series.
And with 2 outs, you've got to make it.
Here at Miller Park, they just completed the world-famous sausage race. And this was a race for the ages, Joe. I mean, it went down to the final stride.
Yeah, I know. I thought Hot Dog had him all the way. But here comes the Polish. And just by a nose.
I know you were really pulling for the Hot Dog, but you have to take solace in the fact that no matter who finishes first, second, third, fourth, or fifth in the world-famous sausage race, everyone's a wiener.
We go to the bottom of the sixth.
And a leadoff hit for Casey McGee.
Casey McGee has come up with about 85 runners on base in this series, and the Braves have made real good pitches to him. When he did get a base hit, Prado threw out Ryan Braun at the plate. So now he leads off an inning and fights one off for a base hit.
And Roger McDowell out for a chat. That'll give the Braves bullpen a chance to loosen up. And Betancourt will hit. He's flying out to center twice.
It's not Sherrill and Linebrink throwing. It is. See how Ron Renicky plays this. If he plays for an extra run or a big inning. Things for sure. Tommy can pay 100% attention to the hitter here.
Similar situation like this in the first inning cost him a couple runs. Gomez bunted for a single. And after numerous throws to first base, looked like Tommy hung a breaking ball and Braun didn't miss it for a 2-run homer. Braves tied it 2-2 on a Prado RBI hit in the second. Brewers took a 3-2 lead on a bang-bang play at the plate that scored Niger Morgan.
Big curveball, the beauty.
Niger Morgan, our Delta on deck hitter. He has been destructive.
One thing's for sure, Betancourt's going to swing the bat. He doesn't like to walk. See it and swing, pretty much his philosophy. Thrown him a couple, about 3 curveballs in this sequence, and tried to get him with this one, but it was up. And anytime you leave the curveball up, even if it's got some downward tilt to it, you're going to give the hitter a better chance to get a piece of it. And that's what happened there with Betancourt able to foul it off. Another breaking ball and another one that wasn't a very good one. got away with it. And another hanger. That was a little bit like the hanger that Braun got a piece of, and a good piece of, and kept it fair down the line for a homer.
Popped to the left. McGee at first now with one out. And here is Nyjer Morgan. Big weekend of baseball at Turner Field. The Phillies are in town, and it's Ultimate Kids Days Saturday and Sunday. Free Scouts Alley games, museum tours. Kids can run the bases on the 9th. And there's a pregame parade on the 10th. Buy your Braves tickets in advance and save $3 on each ticket. Visit Braves.com/KidsDay. Yuniesky Betancourt, the final man Tommy Hanson will face here in Milwaukee. 5 1/3 innings. He'll give way to the bullpen as Nyjer Morgan comes up in a 3-2 Brewer game. South are brought to you in part by Geico, by the Georgia Lottery, by the Home Depot, by Honda, and by McDonald's. There's your score. There's your game situation. Nyjer Morgan's in the batter's box for Milwaukee. Braves counter with an AT&T call to the bullpen. They set up a lefty-lefty matchup.
And this is one of the major reasons the Braves were interested in George Sherrill, was being a left-handed specialist, coming in a spot where there's runners on base and getting an out. And one of the things that's really impressed me about Nyjer Morgan in this series is how absolutely relaxed and calm he is at the plate. There's no lunging, there's no real bat waggling and waving around. He just stands there and waits. Got his stance spread out a little bit. And one of the things perhaps he's done with that wide stance is that at times when he had that long stride with Washington, his head's moving and he's out in front. This has certainly improved his bat speed by being able to wait. No stride.
Right on by. And the Braves bullpen getting that first hitter time after time after time. And there are two out.
Good fastball, too. Didn't mess around.
Torres has the go-ahead RBI for Milwaukee. That was in the second. He also singled in the fourth. Little squibber. Ugla, backhand, long off-balance throw. Freeman tried to hold the bag, but could not.
Right off the end of the bat and into no man's land here. No play at second base. His only out opportunity was at first, and too tough a play there for Dan. He might have, he knows that Alex is going for the ball too, so he's not 100% sure that he's even at the bag at second. So he went with what he thought was the best opportunity.
So the Brewers will announce Eric Almonte. Markham's day is done. Ron Renicky trying to add another run here once Almonte is announced. Freddy Gonzalez will pop out of the dugout, and he'll go to his pen again.
Which will probably mean that Ron Renicky will go to Mark Kotsay instead. Would be my guess. Kotsay had 2 hits yesterday off the bench.
So a strikeout and an infield hit allowed by Sherrill in the 6th. We'll see who's on to hit against Scott Linebrink. They're brought to you in part by Academy Sports and Outdoors, by AT&T, by Toyota, by Georgia Power, and by Joel and Associates. Chip and Joe back with you in Milwaukee. 3-2, bottom 6th, 2 on, 2 out. Another AT&T call to the bullpen for manager Freddy Gonzalez. And this time it'll be Scott Linebrink, and there is no corresponding move for the Brewers.
Yeah, I'm really surprised. Last night they pinch hit for Almonte early in the game with some guys on base. Today they don't. They may be just trying to find out what they have with this guy who's 33 years old and has not spent a lot of time in the big leagues, but has some pop.
Linebrink's fastball has some pop too today.
Markham made some good adjustments after walking a batter in each of the first 2 innings. He did a better job of getting ahead in the count, and even when he was 2-0 to some guys, he made good pitches with some off-speed stuff. And he gave up 5 hits.
Good stop.
Nice play. A little cat. Got over there, got his glove turned around.
Lined and caught. That one whistled past Scott Linebrink, but Dan Uggla had his man played perfectly. And that retires the Brewers in the 6th. We go to 7. Still a 3-2 game. Lower portion of the Braves order is coming up as we enjoy our McDonald's fan of the game.
Got some Atlanta hats working over there. Just that outer gear we have a little problem with.
Yeah, a lot of divided loyalties amongst the crowd of over 24,000 today. And it's going to be Mitch Stetter on to pitch.
This is how their bullpen sets up when they want to finish off a game from the 7th inning on. Stetter is the lefty. Saw Axford last night, the closer, and they're going to use Lowe and Saito to be the right-handed setup guy in the 8th inning or 7th, depending on who's up.
Read today in the paper that Saito has a bit of a hamstring issue for Milwaukee, so that might come into play today. Another Tommy Hanson start. Another Tommy Hanson start without a lot of offensive support. Just 2 runs on 5 hits today for him. And Stetter gets the first.
You can see why he's tough on left-handers.
My partner thinks he's got the answer to the trivia question again today. Brought to you by our friends at AT&T Uverse.
One more hint. He's playing with Chicago now.
Ozzie. Oh, that's Chicago. No clue.
Little O, Omar Vizquel.
Oh, excellent. Yes, sir.
2,800 hits. How about that?
Matt Young hits. He's walked and scored. Down a strike. Is he 41 now, Omar? Does that sound about right? 41?
Mm-hmm.
Saw Chipper on the Braves bench. A scheduled day off for him today. There's nothing physically wrong with it. Chance to give him a little rest before we head back to Atlanta. But I would assume if needed, he's ready for pinch hit duties.
And they have a cage here under the stadium where you can get some swings in and be ready. Tough chore, though, for these left-handers against Stetter. Did he go? No.
We shortchanged Omar a couple years on the birthday, huh?
He'll be 44 later this month.
Well, you wouldn't know it by watching him play. Long run, McGee and Braun. No play. Tickets for opening night still available, but you've got to purchase a Braves ticket plan. They start as low as $50. Get all kinds of great benefits, including all the fun of opening night at Turner Field, stadium discounts, on-field events, and more. Visit Braves.com or call Beth Marshall or Adrian Midgley at 404-577-9100 for your Braves ticket plan today.
This is where a couple of years in the Mexican Winter League will pay off for you, because you're going to see pitches coming at you from all different angles, directions, up, down, sideways. That might be helping Matt Young here.
And nothing straight, I'll bet.
No. Hanging in there. Trying to keep that front shoulder from flying out. Willing to hit the ball to left field. They're going to play him real shallow and toward the line and left. He hangs one of those breaking balls, though, and Matt, who can put a charge in it occasionally, hits one into right center. That would be fun to watch.
We'll see a ninth pitch. Into left. Braun was way in. Now he backtracks.
That was a commitment to making sure he stayed on the ball and tried to hit it the other way. And even though that one was up and a little bit in, Matt still was thinking the other way to protect the plate. Still almost hit it over Braun's head.
So Brooks Conrad will hit for Scott Linebrink. So a nice job by Stetter. He retired the two men assigned him, and the wheels are turning at Miller Park.
The first inning, 2-run home run by Ryan Braun right down the left field line off Tommy Hanson. But the Braves countered in the top of the second. A seeing eye base hit just slapped through the right side by Martin Prado, brought home 2, including Matt Young, who had to make a diving slide at the plate. But then right back came the Brewers. Niger Morgan in the second inning with 1 out, doubled, stole third without a throw. And he was there with 1 out on this ground ball. Ball and player got there at the same time. McCann couldn't hold on. And that's all the scoring we have to this point.
Sergio Mitre to pitch. Brooks Conrad to pinch hit. And he pops up the first pitch. Time to stretch in Milwaukee. Braves offense still struggling to gain some footing on the road. It's a 3-2 score. Very excited. All 150 Braves games on television will be on our air, including those games that formerly were solely on Peachtree TV. That's right. If you live in the Atlanta area, tomorrow night's broadcast, the first of our 45 games that will air on Peachtree and simultaneously outside of the Atlanta market on Fox Sports South. What that means is if you want to watch the Braves on TV, tune us in to Fox Sports South and in Atlanta on Peachtree TV for those 45 games, and check your local listings for the game and time in your area.
There are your matchups again with the Phillies coming to town with that highly publicized pitching staff. Braves will see Cliff Lee, Roy Oswalt, and Cole Hamels in that order. Braves counter with Hudson, Beachy, and Lowe. Should be a great weekend. We hope you'll make your plans to be with us.
Fourth pitcher of the day on for Freddie Gonzalez now. Peter Moylan answers the AT&T call to the bullpen, and he'll face the top of the Milwaukee order.
5th game already for Peter out of the first 7. Braves have made some good adjustments on Weeks since game 1 of this series when he started game 1 with a base hit and then homered in the 3rd inning. He only has 1 hit since then. 0 for 3 today. Showing him a lot more breaking stuff and off-speed pitches. After what you said about Saito a minute ago, Chip, and his hamstring, you would expect Cameron Lowe to be the guy that works the 8th or to start the 8th, and he is warming up.
Weeks stays alive behind the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That guy looked good last night, didn't he?
Yeah. Getting some more movement on his fastball than he had last time we saw him.
That one skips past Ugla, and Weeks aboard, leading off the 7th.
Dan was getting over there, but the ball took a funny bounce back to Dan. Once it hit in the dirt, it skipped between his glove and his face. Something he didn't expect to happen, but the ball was hit with so much spin. That's what caused the funny bounce.
Will they ask Gomez to bunt? Prado in on the grass at third. Thinks so.
Expecting him to. He put out a good bunt for a base hit his first time up. Tried to bunt again after that.
He does. Nobody at first.
He is so fast, Chip, that you're gonna have to adjust where you position your second baseman in anticipation of any sacrifice bunt. Look how far away from first Ugla was. There's no way he's going to win that race to the bag. I don't know if Dan got caught by surprise, thinking that they were going to swing away, but he's just too fast.
So a couple of bunt singles for Gomez in the game, and that sets up Braun with 2 on and nobody out. He's already hit a 2-run homer today. Can't give the Brewers any more. The Braves down a run, and it's late.
Third game of the series for Peter, but he has not faced Ryan Braun yet until now.
Johnny Venter's getting ready, perhaps for Prince Fielder, who waits next.
Be careful here.
The bases are loaded and no one is out. Two hits and a walk for Moylan. He didn't retire a hitter. And the game on the base paths for the Brewers. Lefty-lefty matchup coming up. Johnny Vetters versus Prince Fielder.
The pitch for the Braves, and a little history with these guys. Back in July, you might remember, pitch got away from Vetters, went right over the top of Prince's head. Angel Hernandez warned both sides, and then right after that, he plunked him. Vetters was ejected automatically and suspended by the league, but the Braves went to bat for him. Showed a lot of video that showed that when Johnny misses, that's where he misses. It was not intentional, and got the suspension, I believe, rescinded altogether.
Yeah, it was a 4-gamer, and it was completely wiped away. And now Fielder hits with nobody out. First pitch. Freeman loads up, coming home, throw late. Weeks outruns the baseball. It's 4-2 and still nobody out.
The infield was back up the middle, but Freddie was behind the line. He wasn't in on the grass. I'm not sure if that's where they wanted him to play, and not in on the grass. If he's in on the grass, he comes home quickly, gets that out easily. But he's kind of halfway, still halfway.
AT&T's call to the bullpen features Johnny Vetters, the 5th man to work for the Braves today. No place to put McGee. Ugla. There's one. And there's two.
Again, McGee comes up with a ton of guys on base, and he can't get a hit this time. In fact, he does the Braves a favor. He can't run out of sight in 2 days, Chip. That's why with the infield back, you can still come home and go to first and get the double play.
Yeah, hitting with runners in scoring position has been an early problem for the Milwaukee club. They were just 10 for 46 with runners in scoring position coming into this game. And they've had a couple of shots to add big crooked numbers to their lead. Instead, it's now 4-2 with Betancourt being walked intentionally by Vetters. Johnny will face Niger Morgan with the bases full. So here's Morgan. Braves will have a top of the order coming up in the 8th inning, so I'll shut the door here.
Showed you that adjustment Morgan's made by spreading out.
That in on his knuckles and popped foul.
An odd bases loaded attempt at a 2-out bunt base hit, and he almost bit it. And another one of those pitches from Venners in that same locale. I like this. If you're not sure, McCann may have an idea of what they want to do based on what he's seen from Morgan in this series to help Johnny set up perhaps a fourth pitch. It's 0-2, but this may not be the out pitch they want to go after. Let's see if they want something inside. Well, it was a breaking ball. Looked like it was a breaking ball for a strike, too.
One other thing I'm looking forward to in getting home is that straight on camera angle look we have from center field. You can really see location. And Vetters with perfect location takes care of Nyjer Morgan. Brewers add a run in the 7th. Top of the order is coming up, as they say, a couple hours south of here. Let's get some runs. It's a 4-2 game. Four to two, 8th inning, top of the order. Time for the bats to get working, huh?
It is time for the offense to come back around. They've been kind of quiet here this whole series. Remember, they won the first game 2-1 thanks to 2 late solo homers from Prado and Ugla. And then we'll find out how effective Lowe is on back-to-back games. Retired the side in order last night in the 8th.
Those RBIs for Martin came with 2 outs in the second. He'll be followed by Nate McLouth and then Brian McCann. Still a very manageable game. Braves have but 5 hits, however. He gives ground at third, loads up.
One thing I remember, or that I notice about Cameron Lowe that's a little different from what I remember, is that his arm slot's a little lower. He's not directly over the top. And I don't want to say he's slinging it, but by comparison to how he used to pitch right over the top, it looks like it. I mean, maybe that's helped creating some of that that movement that he lacked before. This was a fastball, but you can see he's a little more 3/4 than over the top. And depending on his grip, when he wants to make the ball run away from a left-hander or sink, he can go to a 2-seamer from that same arm angle and get some good movement.
Need a base runner and a blast to tie this game. 4-2, Brewers the lead with 1 out. Weeks at second.
By comparison to the numbers in Washington, Braves offense really pedestrian here in Milwaukee. Of course, the Braves scored 11 of those 16 runs in Washington that last day. But 4 for 9 with runners in scoring position. Just haven't been enough guys out there in scoring position for them to take advantage.
And remember, it's 8 runs in 4 games. This is a 4-game series.
Right.
Ground ball. Weeks off the heel of his glove. And this time McCann hits it into the shift, but still is rewarded with a hit.
Ricky Weeks and Dan Uggla are going to have to commiserate on hops. This one to Weeks is right. He may have gone to the turf a little too soon, because look how high he had to reach up for that hop. He may have anticipated having to dive a little too soon.
Besides baseball, hop commiseration, one of the great pastimes of Milwaukee. Come on, Dan, launch one here. Tie this thing up. Base hit. That'll bring the potential go-ahead run to the plate. Uggla, a 2-hit game. And the happiest guy in the park to see Markham out of there is Jason Hayward. A 3-run homer here yesterday. Let's see if lightning strikes again.
And here is that home run off Estrada. After Estrada had fallen behind in the count. Take a gapper here too. 2 outs. Uggla would be off at the crack of the bat. He runs well. can get something up just a little bit that you can drive. Anything at the knees you think might sink, at least in this count, you don't have to offer.
It pops away, and McCann and Ugla hold at second and first.
That's a hard one to go to third on if you're Brian McCann. First of all, it bounced over toward third base, so as soon as Taras locates the ball, if Brian's going, it's going to be a short flip to third base to try and get him. So you don't want to run yourself out of an inning here with Jason at the plate. I'd like to have 2 men in scoring position, but that was too risky. Good eye. Patience.
Right hand hitting, Alex Gonzalez on deck. This Lowe's inning. Nobody else up in the Brewers' pen. And they are loaded with 2 outs, 2 singles and a walk.
One of the great attributes for Jason Hayward as a young player that so few young players have is patience at the plate. We saw it so many times last year, as many walks as he drew, and even in here at this at bat, knowing he represents the go-ahead run if he gets a hold of one, he was waiting for a good pitch to hit and never really got one.
So Rick Kranitz, the new Brewers pitching coach, with a 2-out visit. And Alex Gonzalez has flied out 3 times. The last on a bloop that Niger Morgan caught in shallow right.
Got a low call there.
If Gonzalez could reach, Chipper Jones is on deck. Deep short. Betancourt. Close play, but in time to retire the side. He was playing in the hole, and that's exactly where Gonzalez hit it. Braves load him with 2 outs, but cannot break through in the 8th. By a 4-2 score. News story today, the Red Sox lost again. Wow.
Who would have thunk it?
Cleveland squeezed home the only run of the game in the 8th inning, beat them 1-0. And as you look at that AL East, Boston 0-5, Tampa Bay losing again today. They're 0-5 as well at the start of play. So those two terrific teams have a chance to be 0-6 together at the end of today's play. Amazing. And look who's on top of the division.
Break up the Orioles.
Jeremy Reed will bat with bases clear in the 8th. Just 2 unbeaten teams left in baseball at the start of play today. Reds are 5-0, and the Texas Rangers are 6-0. Hit toward first. Venture's a little late, but outruns Reed for the second out.
Braves are going to have the bottom part of their order due up in the 9th inning, but they've got a full complement of players available to Freddie Gonzalez off the bench, including Chipper Jones. He has used Brooks Conrad to pinch hit already, but otherwise Pinsky, Hicks, Chipper, David Ross all available.
John Axford is their closer, and he is up in the Milwaukee pen. Don't forget, tomorrow night, Tim Hudson, Cliff Lee, 7:35 first pitch as the Phillies come to town. Weeks scored a big insurance run in the 7th. He singled against Peter Moylan, came home on a Prince Fielder fielder's choice.
.95 sinker. Johnny Venters has got more than just one weapon. That hard slider also a good pitch, but nothing compares to his sinker.
And Weeks over the top. And Johnny a 1-2-3 8th inning. Final call for Atlanta in Milwaukee, down 4-2 after 8. Nyjer Morgan's had a big series. In fact, he earns our Toyota Plays of the Game honor.
Nyjer Morgan has had a terrific series, but it's actually several things he did to generate a run back in the second inning. The double, the stolen base, and then knocking this ball loose on first play. Clean play. Brian with his shoulder, not his elbow. And that's our play of the game all told, because it was a combination of plays.
So in the ninth, Freddie Freeman will face John Axford, who's 1 for 2 in save opportunities. He earned his first here last night, preserving a 5-4 Brewer win.
Came in and walked the first batter last night, Jason Hayward, but then settled in. Good hook.
It's been a long and winding path for Axford to reach the major leagues. He's out of Canada. Was selected by Seattle in the 7th round of the draft in 2001. Didn't sign. Went to college. Went to Notre Dame. Then had Tommy John surgery. Heads up. Pitched just a handful of innings in 2005. Drafted again in the 42nd round. Didn't sign. Went to Canisius College. Signed with the Yankees as a non-drafted free agent. Got cut. Was out of baseball for a little while.
I like his attitude. I read some stories or some quotes from him today regarding his save last night, and he was talking about how, you know, people were very critical of his blown save in Cincinnati, but he said, yeah, I've still got a lot to learn in this job, and haven't been doing it that long, haven't been in pro ball that long. I'm still picking up a few things along the way, and I don't blame the fans for being upset, but I'm learning as I go.
Good at bat continues for Freddie Freeman, and John's right. I mean, he didn't start pitching professionally in 2007. And after the Yankees let him go at the end of that year, he was selling cell phones at a big box store to make ends meet. Brewers signed him in 2008, got to the big leagues in 2009, and now is their closer. And he's got his first out of the 9th inning. .24 saves and 8 wins in 50 games for the Brewers in 2010. And let's not forget whom he's following as the closer in Milwaukee. With over 600 saves, Trevor Hoffman.
Seems to have a little better command today. He's got beat 1-0. They got beat 5-4, and today they're behind 4-2. The pitching has been there, the bats have not.
Ground ball, and Matt Young's first big league hit comes the other way in the 9th inning at Miller Park. Axford throws the ball out, but he throws it toward the wrong dugout.
A souvenir for Matt Young that's taken a long time coming. Good for him. Comes at a good time, too.
You mentioned the Braves have a full complement of bench players. Here's the second employed by Freddie in this game. It's Chipper Jones.
Chance to bring Chipper to the plate as the tying run and give him a chance. Pitch due. That was 93. It had a little movement on it too. Chipper was looking for something to hit in the seats. Maybe pulled off of it a little bit, but it was moving away from him.
High in the air to left. Braunvo will have room.
First base hit for Matt Young, and he gets a fist bump from Prince Fielder. That's a nice sign. Classic thing there from Prince.
Young will take second. And one would think that'll be defensive indifference. But takes away the force play.
Yeah, his run doesn't matter. Does help the Braves in that regard if Martin happens to hit one in the hole somewhere. That's a tough play for one of the middle infielders, but the run that matters is at the plate.
Martin, you might recall, tied game one of this series with that 8th inning home run off Takashi Saito.
A lot of difference between having to hit 1 and 2 versus 2 and 1. That was a good pitch. At the knees. That'll be more protective now for Prado.
Line and caught. Prince Fielder snares it. And the Milwaukee Brewers take 3 out of 4 from the Braves. Final score, Milwaukee 4, Atlanta 2. Prado took a shot to right, but Prince Fielder had him played perfectly. And the Braves bats struggled in this final stop on our first trip of the year.